influence what's going on. Sweden has, I don't know if they still have it, but they had a zero, I think a zero fatality initiative of some sort, where their goal was to have absolutely no deaths. Well, that's a great idea. I don't want to see people get killed on motorcycles, but to be able to accomplish that, you've got to put severe restrictions on motorcycle use, and that I find troubling.
I just don't see how you can get away.
Well, we can't legislate.
Go ahead, Mark.
We can't legislate all the risk out of everybody's life. It's just impossible, and we shouldn't be trying to do it anyway. That's what freedom is all about: freedom to make choices in your life, and especially when you're not necessarily creating harm to others. I mean, we don't want people doing things that'll injure others or maybe kill themselves, but you just can't legislate that kind of stuff.
Yeah, a good example is, go ahead, John.
Yeah, I was just going to say the injuries, they're not going to be helped. I mean, you can try all you want, to try to prevent all the accidents from happening. But for Sweden to have a zero fatality rate, I just don't know possibly how they could ever do that without anyone be able to even ride the motorcycle, period, or even have fun on it.
Yeah, because there's always going to be somebody shooting out of a driveway. You're right.
That's right.
Cars, where you're encased in steel with airbags and seat belts and all that, it's still going to happen. Although I tell you, one of the things that we do here in Illinois is the training that we do, and that helps. It's no guarantee, but it certainly helps.
It does. I mean, after getting ran over in all my years of riding, I've been ran over twice and totaled 2 Harleys. Neither times have been my fault. But you know what? It sure made me a lot much more alert. Because everybody I look at when I'm riding down the road, they're going to pull out in front of me, and that's the way I'm looking at it. And I really do think it's helped me out because I'm much more alert and probably don't go near as fast as I used to. I just put it to cruising speed, and then I'm not going to get in any hurry going anywhere.
Well, and I think that's a good point, John. You take responsibility for what you can do on your part to minimize the risk of accidents, and I think that's what we all need to do. But you can't control what the other person does, and you can just do what you can do.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, one of the accidents I was in, we were sitting at the stoplight, and I was looking at him, and he was looking at me, and he was going to take a left, and I was going to go straight. The light turned green. He ran me right over. He took the left and ran me right over. I have no idea, because him and I were looking at one another for at least 2 minutes, and it was in the evening, and my lights were on, so I don't know where his head was, but it sure wasn't in the driving.
I think it's pretty clear. John?
Yeah?
I think it's pretty clear. He just didn't like the way you looked.
I guess not, but yeah. Hopefully he wised up after we went to court over it, so.
Yeah, that's, and the thing is, people do make mistakes, and that's one of the reasons why we have motorcycle awareness classes that some driver's ed teachers let us present in high schools. I mean, just a simple thing like look twice and save a life. That's a wonderful. If everybody did that.
Yeah, them driver's ed classes were great back when we were younger. I don't know how yours and Mark's was, George, but mine were pretty gory and bloody. And it woke you up and made you think about it. Wow, metal and skin or, body, it just doesn't mesh. You know what I mean? It does mesh and meshes the wrong way, but it really made a lot of people think back when we had those videos. I don't think they have those videos anymore. They're so disturbing. But I think that's what they need, is some disturbing videos to wake people up. And, I think they see what can happen. And I think it does some good with the disturbing videos.
Well, and I think that this is a case where maybe some legislation had some positive, effects on things, because I do like the new latest licensing laws where you have to have so many hours behind the wheel with somebody else before you can, drive on your own. And when I was learning, you didn't have to do that. I mean, when you reached a certain age, you went down and took your test, and if you passed it, you were good to go no matter how much experience you had.
Yeah, for a long time, you didn't even have to have a motorcycling endorsement here in Illinois. And it's probably a good idea to make sure that people have a minimal amount of knowledge before they can get that endorsement on their license.
Yeah, I think,
George, that's a great point.
Is it now, if an adult in Illinois never had a motorcycle license before, do they have to ride with somebody that's had a license for many years, like for 6 months or something? Is that correct? How does that work now?
I don't think so. I think an adult can go in, pass the test, and ride a motorcycle.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure on that, but that's what I think.
Well, I'm all good for the training.
The scary thing about all that is, as you guys know, you can walk into any motorcycle dealer today and purchase a motorcycle that can run close to 200 miles an hour with absolutely no accreditation or experience at all. I know you can do that with cars, but the difference is the cars are a lot more money than the motorcycles, so not nearly as many people can do that.
No, you're right about that. Some of the motorcycles are made to ride fast, and that's the problem too. I mean, and they're fun. Sure they are. They're great fun. Matter of fact, that's the reason I bought my first Harley back in when I was 21 years old, and I went from a faster motorcycle to a Harley because I just wanted to start cruising. Because I could see my way going. I could see my path. On the fast bikes, I rode them fast. And I was flattered. I finally bought my Harley, and now I can just cruise. And plus, I got more girls back then with the Harley. So, but anyway, that's. The fast bikes are made for fast, and they're dangerous, if they don't know how to ride them. Go ahead.
And we certainly don't want to discourage people from getting motorcycles like that, but we just want people to be ready for them when they do. Because there's some countries that it is almost impossible to get a high-performance motorcycle. You have to jump through so many hoops just to be allowed to get one, and the taxes are so high on those things that it's like I said, it's unlikely that very many people will ever get one. And that gets us back to the original thought that we had with this program, is that you don't want government to be oppressive. You want it to be helpful. And although it's a good idea to make sure that people have the correct endorsement before they ride, you don't want to be able to limit motorcycling just to the very few that can get that experience, and that's incidentally one of the great things about Illinois is that motorcycle safety training courses here in Illinois are absolutely 100% free. It's a matter of fact. If you want, I can go grab my cell phone and give an 800 number, give the information on how to sign up for that course. Do you want me to do that?
If you want to, George, I'm going to read off a few things. We only got a couple minutes left here. And this is, go ahead and get it.
Okay.
This is John Anderson, John Fireball
I'll be right
Anderson,
back.
With George Tinkham and Mark Morrison. And we're Patriots on Wheels. We're on every Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. and we will be on every Sunday night on Restoration of America. You can check us out on Facebook and look that up. We're on Spreaker Radio, that's with an R, and you can tune in every Sunday. We'd love to have you, and we'll take call-ins, as we get that worked out. Got that number, George?
I'm digging it out right now.
Mark, can you think of any topics you'd like to talk about in a minute or so next week? Is there anything you'd like to talk about?
Well,
Maybe give our listeners
I'd like to I'd like to continue to talk about where we see our country going, the good and the bad, and what we can do about it as patriots to have an impact.
Okay, great. I'd like to touch on the stop and go at the red light next week. I'd like to do a little segment on that. Go ahead, George. You got that number?
Yes. It is 1-800-446-9227. And you can also go to Start Seeing Motorcycles. Just a second here. No, that's not working. So, apparently, my cell phone is, my smartphone is smarter than I am, because I can't make it work here. Start Seeing Motorcycles.org. All one word. Start Seeing Motorcycles.org. And those are the two ways that you can get these courses. They do fill up, especially in more populated areas. So contact them right away. And if that number I gave you isn't good for courses in your area, all you have to do is ask them for the correct number for the courses in your area. And hopefully they'll give it to you.
Okay, great.
So that's my input.
Okay, you got about 15 seconds, George. You got anything you want to talk about next week?
Well, one of the things we might want to talk about next week is what are not just the biggest issues, but the entities out there, the people, the organizations that have the biggest impacts, both positive and negative, on motorcycling. And another issue I'd like to talk about is the changing face of motorcycling. The people brought up in the 50s and 60s, and to a certain extent the 70s, seem to be more involved in cars and motorcycles than people being brought up in the 90s and, well, in the past, say, 16 years. So how do we address that? I don't think motorcycling is just going to dry up and blow away, but are we seeing fewer people going to be involved in the future after the baby boomers go on to their reward? That's an issue I think we could discuss.
Okay. Well, we're signing off here. This is John Fireball Anderson with George Tinkham and Mark Morrison. We're on Patriots on Wheels. You can look us up at Roar Restoration America on Facebook. And please tune in, 7 o'clock Eastern, next week on Spreaker Radio. Thank you.
Okay.
Called the USA, and we fly our flag cause we're proud and free, we're Americans. Red, white, and blue is our way of life. Never back down from a challenge or a fight. Nature provides, God gives the rights, we're Americans.